You know that little tube of glue you've got stashed away in a drawer somewhere? The one that's impossibly strong? Well, the story of how we got it is actually even crazier than the glue itself. Let's get into the accidental genius of superglue.
1 ton. Just let that number hang in the air for a second. 2,000 pounds. Now, what on earth could a number that big possibly have to do with a tiny tube of glue?
Believe it or not, that's the weight a single square inch of superglue can hold. I mean, think about that. If you do it right, you could lift a small car with a patch of this stuff no bigger than your thumb. It's an absolutely mind-blowing feat of chemistry.
But here's the real kicker. This modern marvel, it was invented by accident. Not once, but twice. Yep, the very thing that makes this glue so incredible, the fact that it's so aggressively, instantly sticky, was originally seen as a complete and utter failure. This isn't your typical light bulb moment story. Oh no, this is the story of a mistake that just refused to be ignored.
So how in the world did this unbelievable adhesive come to be? Well, our story starts in a laboratory, but it wasn't exactly a quiet one.
The year is 1942, and World War II is in full swing. We're talking about a super high-stakes research environment where pretty much every project was driven by the urgent needs of the war. Everything was critical.
And right in the middle of all of this is a chemist named Dr. Harry Coover, working for Eastman Kodak. Now, get this, his team wasn't trying to invent glue at all. Their mission was to create a perfectly clear plastic to be used for precision gun sights to help soldiers aim more accurately. You can just imagine the frustration. Their goal was perfect gun sights, but the result was a sticky mess. While they were experimenting with these chemicals called cyanoacrylates, they didn't get a perfect plastic. They got a goopy compound that bonded instantly to everything it touched. Their glassware, their tools, you name it. It was a total project-derailing nuisance. So what did they do? They threw it out. In Coover's own words, it was too sticky. We discarded it. The very property we value today was the exact reason they thought it was completely useless. The world's strongest glue was officially a failure.
But of course, the story doesn't end there. That mistake was about to get a second chance years later in a completely different lab for a completely different reason.
And just look at this timeline. This was a long and winding road. It was discovered and tossed out in 1942. 9 full years went by before it was accidentally rediscovered in 1951. And even then, it took another 7 years before Eastman #910, what we now call superglue, ever actually hit the shelves. This was anything but an overnight success.
Okay, so let's fast forward those 9 years. It's 1951. Dr. Coover is now leading a different research team. The goal this time? Creating heat-resistant polymers for jet canopies, a totally different objective for a new post-war era.
And then, in an almost comical twist of fate, a researcher on Coover's new team comes to him with the exact same complaint from all those years ago. This stuff is a nightmare. It's permanently bonding our expensive lab equipment together.
They were literally about to discard it for a second time. But this was the moment. This was the accidental rediscovery where something finally clicked.
This time, Coover had that flash of insight. He realized they weren't looking at a bad material for jet canopies, they were looking at a brand new kind of adhesive, one that didn't need any heat or pressure to work.
The science behind it is actually pretty brilliant. See, the main chemical, cyanoacrylate, undergoes this rapid chain reaction called polymerization the second it touches water. And we're not talking about a puddle. The tiny, invisible film of moisture that's on almost every surface is all it takes to kick off that reaction and create that powerful instant bond. So that's the science of the stickiness. Recognizing that potential, that aha moment, is what turned a lab nuisance into a revolutionary product. But, it took a very particular kind of mind to see it.
And Harry Coover was no one-hit wonder. Not even close. This number, over 460, is how many patents he held in his lifetime. He was an incredibly prolific inventor. This amazing adhesive just happened to be his most famous accident. But beyond just fixing broken mugs at home, superglue went on to have a couple of secret lives that are truly astonishing.
First up, battlefield medicine. During the Vietnam War, medics were actually equipped with cyanoacrylate sprays. They could use them to quickly seal a soldier's wounds right there in the field, stopping the bleeding long enough to get them to a hospital. That lab mistake was now literally saving lives.
And in another wild twist, forensics teams use it to solve crimes. When you heat up superglue, its fumes stick to the tiny traces of moisture and oils in a fingerprint, making an invisible print turn white and become visible on surfaces like glass or plastic.
So when you think about it, the journey of this little tube of glue with all its secret lives is nothing short of extraordinary.
What started out as a sticky problem that ruined experiments became a staple in our junk drawers, a critical tool for medics in war zones, and an ingenious device for detectives. It's really the perfect story of accidental innovation.
And really, that's the whole takeaway here. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? The next time you face some frustrating failure, maybe it's not a dead end. Maybe, just maybe, it's the solution to a problem you haven't even thought of yet.